If President Obama had real reasons for this, for the inaction, or if it was somebody in his chain of command, he is duty-bound to come out before the election and actually say to the American people, this is what went down. And before somebody tells me that it's classified and can't do that, look at the bin Laden raid. We were told everything about the bin Laden raid as soon as it happened. We were told details of it. We had Hollywood producers meeting with them, completely willing to discuss that. But on this issue, after U.S. ambassadors assassinated, the Obama administration wants to run out the clock, and they don't want to talk about it. Is that too much?
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. And I think when President Obama claims that they're getting to the bottom of it, well, one piece that he shouldn't have to investigate is his own participation in the decisions made on that day. There are those 7 hours. The White House could be putting out a timeline of, was he in the Situation Room? Did he give particular orders to particular commanders, to people in charge about what our military response should be? These are facts that it doesn't take a committee to investigate. It merely takes the White House to cooperate.
I would hope that they would make the case. I mean, right now the White House's denial is a pretty bland denial. I mean, they've had Tommy Vitor, the National Security Council spokesman. He said that neither the president nor anyone in the White House denied any request for assistance in Benghazi during the attack. I mean, you have the ambassador on the phone calling into the embassy saying we are under assault. This went on for 7 hours. We have military assets an hour's flight away. Either they decided, and they should explain to the American people why they decided not to send in troops, or there's a huge breakdown of the chain of command. I mean, we should just completely rethink the way we're relaying information about national security.
Well, you're not going to get much disagreement from me on the White House's handling of what happened in Libya after the fact. I completely agree with you that there needs to be a count, there needs to be discussions, and that's been lacking both coming from the administration and just as horribly within the media of what happened over there. But to get me to your level of outrage on this, Buck, on what happened in those hours, in that night in Benghazi, may I ask you 3 questions? And I was just writing these down as you were setting it up. First of all, 7 hours. You've detailed for us the warnings that were leading up to that night. You've detailed for us now the pleas coming from the consulate that night. How doable was action? Where was action going to come from? I think you know the answer. This is somewhere Sicily or something like that. How doable was action?
Action, I think, was very doable. I mean, when somebody like Mike Scheuer is somebody who understands, for example, how a quick reaction force, not something that shows up a month later to do an investigation. People that can show up in extremis to bail out Americans who are in jeopardy. He understands the speed with which that can be done, and he says that they let people die. I mean, this is not a guy.
Doable. Can you give me also now a historical example of it? Give me an example of success in your mind where a president made a call in the moment and deployed assets on that quick response, and it came out a success.
Well, I mean, I would tell you this. I mean, they were willing to deploy assets in the case of Osama bin Laden, for example, and claim success on that. And if you're talking about deploying assets quickly and there being a success, the Navy SEALs off the coast of Somalia would be the first example that comes to mind. I mean, taking that shot to save the lives of people who were held captive on a ship and were being threatened with execution, by the way, the whole time. President Obama absolutely deserves credit for that. That was the right decision. That was deploying assets very quickly and telling them to take the shot. And he was unwilling to do that here. And the question is why? I understand your skepticism on this. I understand a lot of people's skepticism because you don't want to get ahead of the story because then you lose credibility, right? I mean, just as a nation, we don't want to be pushing beyond where the facts lead us. But if what I'm saying is not true, we have an election coming up. President Obama is honor-bound and duty-bound to make the case why he did not do anything.
He's not going to make that case. He's not going to jeopardize, the fate of his election, and he's not going to answer questions that, frankly, are not being asked loud enough. We're asking them here, but no one is demanding that he answer those questions, so he's not going to. What I don't understand is why he wouldn't send troops in, why he wouldn't take action. And that's where I get into some concern over conspiracy theories. I am outraged. I am at your level of outrage, but I don't understand why he wouldn't send troops in. You have to give me that reason. You have to fill that in for me.
Scheuer's explanation was political, right? He said it would have come at a political cost to Obama. What is that?
I don't buy
cost?
that. What is the political cost
in Benghazi,
what is
Libya,
the political
with dead
cost
Libyans
of sending troops in when our American assets are under fire? What is the political cost?
Well, no, I completely agree. I think that the idea that we're not going to send in troops because somehow that's a problem doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. It would seem almost like that would getting into a messy firefight there, defending the consulate might come up better.
Good.
Yeah, it could only come up better.
It depends on your worldview. I mean, the Obama administration has been proposing their foreign policy as healing, as essentially getting the Arab world, the Muslim world, to be more favorably disposed towards the United States. He's been trying to portray himself as understanding the trajectory of the Arab Spring, being on the right side of that. He's used those words. We're on the right side of the Arab Spring. When you have people show up, and we're talking about an assault force of 150 guys. So if we had a quick reaction team there on site, for example, maybe even late in the gunfight, there could have been a lot of casualties. That looks bad on TV and also shatters your narrative.
But that